Hi everyone, this is Gail Scott again. And this channeling that came through is one that is hopefully going to inspire you and keep you basically in the light. There's a lot of turmoil going on right now on the planet, and a lot of things are happening that are out with many of our control. And so how do you stay centered and grounded and in the light in the experience that you're having right now in these really, really difficult, challenging times? So often we ask ourselves, when is this going to end? When is it going to get better? When is it going to be different? When is it going to be the way that we would like it to be? And so the galactic energies that I channel have been very clear with me that they can't tell us when that's going to happen, because there's so many different factors that come into play galactically on the planet, from an Earth perspective, from us as a species, from humanity, from other energies that are also at play in this particular experience that we're having, and other species as well that are involved with this evolution of our planet. There are different forces, let's say, at play here. Some of them you may have heard of: the archons, the greys, the reptilians. These are all different energies from what we stand as in our sovereignty as human beings. And so there is a agenda, let's say, that's been going on now for thousands and thousands of years, but now with our evolution into 5D, that is ending. And it might not seem that way right now, because we really are in the thick of this spiritual war that many are describing this time that we're having. And so these energies that have been attempting to take what is called the New World Order and put it into place, they are being moved out of our field on the planet, but they're not gone yet. There are still some clones and energies, hybrids of this darkness that is still trying to infiltrate and take control of our planet. And so we really are in a very exciting time as we're evolving. But as I've said before in some of these videos, it feels as if time has slowed down, and we're now in slow motion watching every single thing play out in front of us. And that's very difficult for some of us who are aware of the kinds of things that are going on in the background. And for many people, they're not aware of some of the things, and they will become aware because this is going to be revealed to the masses. But until that happens, those of us who are aware are really struggling to keep the light, basically, to stay in our hearts and to try to be positive, because we're noticing how our sovereignty is really being challenged and almost attempting to take it away from us. But for those of us who are on this journey as light workers, we know in our hearts that that is never going to happen, that the light has already won. But it's very difficult to navigate these kind of choppy waters that we're in. We are, in a sense, turning the Titanic away from the iceberg that it has fortunately not been hit by, which could have happened to us, but it has not. And it might seem that way right now, but it's not. It's not. We're moving in the right direction. But because we have linear time, we're beginning to see every single thing that has been attempted on us and is continuing to be attempted on us. But they're not going to win. They're not going to win. And when the mass population sees this, finally, as is all being done in good time in the way that it should be, things are going to change. So my guides have said to me, if we were to take you and we were to show you, for example, by the time you get to 2025 or 2026, you will see a very different kind of Earth. But this is not where you are right now, because right now you're in 2021. And in 2021 through 2022 and even into 2023, there is going to be continuing breakdown and breakthrough, lots of revealing and noticing. And there will be some mirroring going on where we will be able to see exactly the darkness that has been perpetrated to us and is perpetrating within us as well, so that we can begin to shift into the energy of the heart and into love and into a different arena than the world that we've been living in. And so as we, as light workers, and for those of us who are aware, how do we navigate these difficult times right now? So they've said, you are aware, this is a spiritual dimension, this realm, this paradigm, this matrix. And so as you are going through this experience, you become aware, you are the observer of what you are noticing. And so the easiest way for you to cope with these tragic circumstances, however, not so tragic because they do have to happen, but how it is being played out in our realm, is really to disengage yourself from the pain and the difficulty that other people are experiencing. They really have to have their own journey, and we need to stay in the light. And so it's not that we would be less compassionate or empathic or caring or considerate, recognizing that other people are having really difficult experiences as we are also. It's that we don't need to integrate and assimilate this energy into our own field. It's very important that we recognize that we are having our own emotional experience, as is every other person on the planet. And it's not easy because we do tend to vibrate with other people and their vibrations. It's very easy for us to get connected into that. And so it's common, and it helps us to grow this kind of mirror experience where we can assimilate into someone else's energy field, someone else's vibrational level. And we do have law of attraction that assists us with that. But right now we're upgrading our DNA into a crystalline structure. And this is creating a new normal for us, one that we've never been in before. So we really have to be conscious of ourselves, recognizing that we are being downloaded with key codes and activations that are shifting our vibration, shifting our cellular structure in order to help us to come online and be more functional in the 5D crystalline environment, which is where we're going to. And Earth herself is essentially crystalline at her core, but she is now becoming crystalline all throughout her planetary matter. And so what do you do right now in this current experience when it comes to experiencing other people's experiences? So what we have to do is we have to recognize our own vibrational level, and we have to recognize when we're not vibrationally aligned with other people. And it's not simple because we're emotional and we're sentient beings. And so we do tap into other people's emotions. But what we really need to do is tap into our own heart, because that energy, the energy of the heart, is the highest vibration. That's love that we can be in. And when we do that, we can be in our sovereignty no matter what else is going on around us. Now, one of the tools that you can use to do that is meditation. And so setting up a schedule where you're either meditating on your own, or even more powerfully is to meditate in a group. And so they've recommended that I begin such a group for those of us who feel so inclined that we would love to be able to connect with each other from our hearts and bring in that energetic energy so that our key codes can be maintained at that higher vibrational level, and that we can have our own heart-centered vibrational experience of what it's like to be in this realm going through this vibrational shift. It won't be a new experience for those of us who do this, because if you're being attracted into this kind of experience, then you are already in the heart to a certain extent and already vibing at that new vibrational alignment space. But just recognizing that it does take discipline to stay in that vibrational space, because we are in 3D. We are human beings. We are not ethereal. We are physical matter. And we also have an emotional state. And so we exist within body, mind, spirit. And the heart is really the energy that we want to be working from, but it's been so many years, thousands of years, that we've operated from the head. And so in order to be at this vibration, it helps for us to come together. So now for the next 18 months or so, there's going to be more of these changes coming down the road until around the beginning of 2023. They're saying, you know, dear ones, light workers, don't worry about it. Don't panic. Don't get involved. Don't be embroiled in what's going to happen that's out with your control, because in the previous video, I was very clear about that. All that you can control is what you can control and not what's happening outside of yourself. And so really, to be able to manage this difficult transition, we need to be able to connect deeply with our spirituality and with our hearts. And so when we can harness that element of vibration as a collective group, it is so much more powerful. And it really feeds our emotional human experience when we have more than one of us doing it together. There's a coherence with that, and there's an alignment and a synergy. And it's really a symbiotic experience between each of us that get to align in that energy. And I know that this morning I had a beautiful call with another light being, and, you know, we're able to support each other and stay in the light, especially when we begin to falter and begin to get concerned about what's going to happen, basically. So if you choose to experience this kind of meditation, light, vibrational alignment experience in a group, you will recognize within yourself that that vibration is amplified. And they gave me this image of lights on a grid. And so if we are each a light on the grid and we connect into this kind of environment, the more light we will be able to amplify. And it doesn't necessarily mean that anything will change immediately around us, because things are going to play out exactly as they're meant to based on the choices that we all make. And it really is dependent on the human species. But the more light that we can bring to this planet from a collective human perspective, the more we're going to be able to awaken humanity into the energy of the heart, into love. And it is not just here in the North American continent where I am, but it's worldwide. It's across the globe. It's throughout our entire planet. So we don't have to be concerned that things are going to go downhill. They're not. It's actually already played out. It's already being revealed, and we've actually already moved into the 5D alignment space. We just can't see it yet. We're not there yet physically, because what you're seeing right now is the journey, this frame by frame experience, and it feels like we're very far away from the end goal, but we're not, because the end is really just the beginning of this 5D love, heart-centered experience that we came here to have on planet Earth. So the challenge right now is for you to stay in your vibrational alignment. It's not to be like a sponge and soak up all of these other non-aligned vibrations that are out there. It's to stay in your sovereignty and to stay in the energy of the heart and stay being the light that you are, so that you can bring forward more light, and so that that light can be amplified into our world and our space. And what they're suggesting to me is that we meditate together, and that I create a group to support this, and that we may start out small, but if we involve the whole world, then it could be a beautiful experience, a large, extended global family light experience where we can vibrationally emit this beautiful power of the heart. And it doesn't have to be a complicated or confusing experience. It's just simply us coming together in the light so that we can amplify it, so it can be stronger and brighter. They're saying it's not going to change the timeline, because the timeline is set and it's all going to play out the way it's going to be played out. But our focus is not to sit and look at each individual experience that is happening on the planet. Our focus is to be the light. I've explained it now as some light workers are going to fight the fight. And then there are those of us who need to keep the light. And this is one of the practices of how to maintain your vibration, how to be in your sovereignty, how to come from the heart, is that we get to use whatever means we have as humans and as spiritual beings to do that, to create love and to hold that love in whatever action or space or place or person you happen to be dealing with. And that's the joy of being the light. And that's where we will find our peace. And so we need to let go of the fear of how it's going to play out. And so you will have a specific part to play in this experience on our planet. And only you know what that is. And you don't have to be concerned about what other people are going to do. You just need to make choices for yourself from your own sovereignty, from your own integrity, and recognize that it won't be easy for everyone. It might not be easy for you. It's certainly not been easy for me so far, but that is the journey of the soul, is to grow and learn and explore. And as we elevate our level of consciousness with each of our experiences, we're moving forward. And we're moving forward in this absolutely amazing, shifting, evolving paradigm. And the more we can hold fast to the light, the more we can extend it out. And it just depends on how much effort you want to put into it. But they're saying, don't make it something that's an effort. Create experiences that are smooth and easy and coming from love, and let go of your ego, let go of the fear, and let go of holding on to what you think things should be or are right now, and just expand into your heart, into your soul's energy, because that's where your power lies. And even if other people don't understand what you're talking about, or they don't get it, if you are in your sovereignty and you're in your light, they will feel it. And that is a beautiful thing. And we are fully supported, guided, and inspired by the galactic energies that are here to help us vibrate higher and into this new, beautiful new earth that we're moving forward with. And so if you are interested in joining a meditation program, please reach out to me and subscribe to my newsletter on my website, www.boseinternational.com. And the link is below. And I will include you on the information about how this is going to play out for me. It's a very exciting experience for me to start. And I look forward to meditating with you and continuing to support you on your journey into the light. Thank you so much.